Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss the fascinating and often underestimated Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, a piece of modern British coinage that at first glance appears to be just ordinary pocket change, but upon closer inspection carries an enormous amount of history, cultural significance, and numismatic intrigue, making it one of the most interesting modern coins to collect and study, because the story of the 2-pence coin begins in 1971 when the United Kingdom officially underwent decimalisation, abandoning the old pounds, shillings, and pence system that had been in use for centuries and introducing a streamlined decimal system where 1 pound was equal to 100 new pence, and within this transition the 2-pence coin, often called the 2p, was introduced as one of the new circulating coins. Minted initially in bronze with a diameter of 25.91 millimeters and a weight of 7.12 grams, featuring on its obverse the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, at that time the iconic Arnold Machin effigy that showed the young queen wearing the tiara gifted by her grandmother, Queen Mary, while the reverse bore the badge of the Prince of Wales consisting of 3 ostrich feathers encased within a coronet, accompanied by the motto, Ich diene, which is German for, I serve, reflecting centuries of heraldic tradition tied to the Prince of Wales, making the design instantly symbolic and deeply tied to the monarchy. And what is fascinating is that while millions upon millions of these coins were struck for circulation, the very first issues carry the inscription New Pence, rather than 2 pence, a designation meant to help the public transition from the old pre-decimal system to the new decimal currency, and this remained the case from 1971 until 1981, after which beginning in 1982 the inscription was officially changed to 2 pence, signaling that the decimal system was firmly established and no longer needed clarifying, but a remarkable minting anomaly occurred in 1983 when a small number of 2-pence coins were accidentally struck with the old New Pence legend rather than the updated 2 pence. And it is precisely these error coins that have propelled the 2-pence coin into legendary status among collectors because they represent an extremely rare transitional blunder that should never have happened and yet did, creating one of the most famous and desirable modern British coins. And while most ordinary 2p coins are worth only face value, these 1983 New Pence errors have fetched enormous prices at auction, with pristine examples selling for several hundred to over £1,000 depending on grade and provenance, and in fact in one of the most widely reported auction sales, a rare 1983 2-pence error coin sold for over £1,350, shocking many casual observers who could not believe that such a small copper coin could command such a high price, and that sale cemented the reputation of the Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin as a numismatic treasure hiding in plain sight. But the story does not end there because throughout its long run the coin has undergone several effigy changes as the portrait of the Queen was updated to reflect her age and reign, with the Machin portrait, 1968 to 1984, giving way to the Raphael Maklauf portrait in 1985, showing the Queen with the royal diadem and greater detail, followed in 1998 by the Ian Rank Broadley portrait that presented a more mature and realistic image of the Queen, and finally in 2015 the Jodie Clark portrait was introduced, showing Her Majesty in later life wearing the George IV state diadem, and these portrait updates not only mark the passage of time but also create distinct collectible sub-varieties for the 2-pence coin, allowing collectors to build sets that reflect the evolution of the monarchy itself, and while design updates occurred on the obverse, the reverse also saw a dramatic change in 2008 when the Royal Mint launched a new reverse design system based on sections of the Royal Shield of Arms, with the 2-pence coin displaying the bottom right portion of the shield, meaning that if one assembles all the coins from 1p to 50p together they form a complete shield, and this redesign added a modern twist to the series while still retaining historic connections, and because of such shifts, the 2-pence coin provides a perfect lens through which to study the evolution of British coinage during the second half of the 20th century and into the 21st century, but beyond design and portraits the true magic for collectors lies in varieties and minting errors, because while the 1983 New Pence coin is by far the most famous, other rarities exist such as off-metal strikes, where a coin was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, misstrikes, double strikes, proof errors, and coins intended for uncirculated presentation packs that were accidentally released into circulation, all of which can add tremendous value to what otherwise looks like a common 2p coin. And when we consider the wider context of decimal coinage, the 2p is especially interesting because it has managed to remain in circulation continuously despite changes in metal composition, with the original bronze issues lasting until 1992 when the rising price of copper forced the Royal Mint to switch to copper-plated steel, a change that allowed coins to remain cost-effective but also introduced another collectible element. Since earlier bronze 2p coins can still occasionally be found in change but are increasingly uncommon, And it is here in the middle of our exploration that we should highlight the most spectacular auction price ever achieved by a Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, which as mentioned earlier was the famous 1983 new pence era coin, with the highest recorded auction result surpassing £1,350 for a single coin, while others in top condition continue to achieve prices in the high hundreds, making them more valuable than many historic silver crowns or commemoratives. And this staggering valuation for such a small denomination coin emphasizes just how significant rare varieties can be in determining numismatic worth, and once this auction milestone was reached it reignited collector interest in checking their change carefully, leading to newspaper articles, television features, and viral social media posts about the potential hidden fortune in one's pocket. And while some of these claims have been exaggerated, the fact remains that the 2-pence coin holds a unique spot in the hearts of collectors and non-collectors alike, symbolizing the idea that valuable treasures can still be hiding in everyday life, and this perception has elevated the 2p far beyond its face value, ensuring that it remains one of the most researched and hunted decimal coins in the United Kingdom. And beyond the 1983 rarity, collectors often seek complete date runs, proof sets, and brilliant uncirculated coins that showcase the different effigies and reverse designs, and advanced collectors delve into die varieties, small details in lettering, spacing, and minting quality, which can all reveal hidden rarities, making the 2-pence coin not only accessible for beginners but also rich and rewarding for experts. And its cultural importance also cannot be overlooked because the coin has circulated during the longest reign in British history, appearing in the pockets, purses, and tills of generations of Britons and carrying the familiar portrait of a monarch whose reign defined an era, meaning that beyond monetary value the coin also has emotional and historical significance. And with Queen Elizabeth II's passing in 2022, the 2-pence coins bearing her portrait have taken on an added layer of nostalgia and respect, becoming lasting tributes to her life and reign, ensuring that even the most ordinary examples are part of history, and when combined with the rare varieties and famous auction results, this turns the Queen Elizabeth II 2-pence coin into one of the most remarkable modern issues. And the story continues as King Charles III coins are now being introduced, meaning that Elizabeth II 2p coins will gradually transition out of new circulation, increasing their collectible appeal even further as time passes. And it is this combination of historic transition, era rarity, design evolution, and collector passion that makes the 2-pence coin such a rich subject for study and collecting, proving once again that no coin is truly ordinary when examined closely through the eyes of history and numismatics. And with all of this incredible history, fascinating varieties, record-breaking auction prices, and deep cultural importance tied to the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, it is clear that the humble 2-pence coin is so much more than just small change. It is a treasure waiting to be discovered, a coin that continues to surprise collectors around the world with its hidden rarities, rich heritage, and long-standing role in British coinage, making it one of the most rewarding coins to study and collect. So whether you are just starting your journey into numismatics or you have been collecting for decades, always keep your eyes open for these pieces because you never know when a rare error or variety could be sitting unnoticed in your collection or even in your pocket. And as values continue to rise and interest continues to grow, the 2-pence coin will remain one of the highlights of modern British numismatics for generations to come. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for more rare and valuable coin stories. And don't forget to like and share this video so more collectors can learn about the amazing world of coins.